You became an entrepreneur because you want freedom. You want freedom in your life, your lifestyle. You want the ability to decide and be the visionary for your own business. And you want it to give to you. And you've been giving back. You've been giving to your business for a long time. It has to give back as well. There has to be reciprocity between you and your business. And today I'm talking about liberation. And the reason I'm talking about liberation is because I have been invited and I am already participating in as a speaker, as a contributor to the summit called Liberated Coach Summit. And the reason I think it's so important to talk about liberation in relationship to your business is because of this summit. What I've been noticing as I've been participating in this summit, and I've been going live on the summit host, Crystal Lynn Bell's live streams, and with other speakers, is I have been building proximity to people who know what liberation is. They have been practicing liberation. It's part of their daily practice. It's part of my daily practice. And I know you became a coach because you have been practicing it. But we've been running into glitches. Maybe things aren't working out the way you think they should be. It's taking longer than it should. It's hard. It's not working as easily back when you worked for an employer before. It's different. Being an entrepreneur is different, and entrepreneurship is a path to liberation. And so I want to invite you into this conversation today on Receptive Radio, your tuning station. This is my live stream. And sometimes I interview guests as well, but this is where you can come and get tuned up. You can also binge watch on YouTube, and you can find out what I have gone through, what people I've interviewed had gone through in starting their business, in growing their business, scaling their business, and the gift that they bring to the world through their business. So I totally believe that your business is a vehicle for freedom, impact, prosperity, wealth, legacy. And it's there to support you. It's there to support your life, not consume your life. And you should be in fields, you should be experiencing joy and excitement and fun running your business. It should not be a constant source of financial pressure, relationship pressure, or blocking your creativity. It should be expanding you. You created a business to expand beyond what a job or being an employee can do. I know that's why I created a business. And I'm Jennifer Seifert. I'm a financial leadership guide, a money shaman. I have a background in professional horse racing sport for 49 years. I have a background being a CPA in a firm, working with hundreds of entrepreneurs, filing their year ends and getting them meeting their deadlines with tax returns. I also have a background in being a shamanic practitioner and a healer for most of my life. And I want to bring my work to you to be of service. And the byproduct of that is financial wealth and liberation. But I'm first coming at it of doing what I love, being really powerful at it, and creating prosperity because I'm doing what I love. And I want the same for you. And I know that that's what you want. You really created this business to have more freedom in your life so that you can decide how things run. But freedom starts within. And we have these inner programs that are running, and we need to deal with them. And your business, it's the best feedback tool because it's your creation and is giving you feedback on what's the next inner work that you need to work on. And you work it because it works, right? So I'm in the Liberated Coaches Summit. I'm going to put up a link. There's a link in the post above where you're watching this, or the post below where you're watching this, where you can join the Liberated Coach Summit. It's free, it's on demand. And if you're looking for something to watch, short, concise, interviews between the speakers and the host, Crystal Lynn Bell, around five shackles. One of them is money, and that is the one I'm focusing on in my talk. The other is time, the other is business, the other is pleasure, and the other is your mind. And when you can release yourself from those five shackles, you have true liberation. And it doesn't, you're being liberated isn't an instant thing. It does need time and energy and practice at doing it. But first, what I totally believe, I don't believe in fixing anything. I believe in awareness. And once you start noticing things, they start to transform on their own. So you can start to become liberated just by deciding you want to. And joining this summit, the Liberated Coach Summit, is a decision that will activate that desire to be liberated, set free. And your business is also a container that helps you become liberated. So one of the things I noticed while I worked in public practice for 20 years is that, and I served hundreds of entrepreneurs, and I had teams that helped me do that. And I also apprenticed in the field. So I rose up in it and learned from other people, and then found my own way, started doing it my own way. And now I had to leave that field in order to really bring it to entrepreneurs in a higher frequency, in a more expanded way. Because what I noticed in that field is that accountants and public practice accountants are only really focused on filing your year ends and your tax returns and meeting deadlines. But lots of the times, deadlines were never met because so many entrepreneurs, and I'm saying 95% of entrepreneurs, were behind, messy, incomplete with their records, with their finances. And everything was really done on an emergency basis. It was like running from behind and trying to catch up. You never could catch your breath. And I wasn't really able to serve in this full capacity because what I noticed is it was not the paper and the numbers that were really holding them back. It was all their patterns that were holding them back. And their patterns were avoidance, fear, overwhelm, scarcity, and sometimes hope and sometimes confidence. When I saw really successful entrepreneurs, because I did see that too. I did see the 5% as well who were really rocking it in business. But most of them were 95%, and they were really staying at an income ceiling and like going below it and not achieving the dreams and desires for their business that they set out to. And so what liberation really means it's not having the perfect business and becoming a billionaire and coming up with the latest fad or the biggest idea out there that changes the whole world. It's about being of service, and it's about seeing clearly, having clarity. And when you're behind, messy, incomplete, you have no clarity. And when your business is behind, messy, incomplete, what is your personal life like? Because you're the business. So there's something there. And I'm not saying it's 100%. If your business is not aligned, you're not 100% misaligned. There's something there that needs to be tweaked, that needs to be cleaned up, that needs to be made more transparent for you so you can see clearly. And when you decide to become an entrepreneur, not the easiest thing in the world. There's actually zero schooling on how to become an entrepreneur. And when I was learning accounting in school, there was zero content about serving entrepreneurs. I learned all of it on the job. And basically you're learning everything as you're building it as an entrepreneur. And there's coaches and mentors and really successful entrepreneurs out there helping you get somewhere. But they weren't in the normal education system either. They had to learn it by making mistakes. And so there is really good medicine in all the mistakes you've been making. And you can transform it quickly just by starting to look at it, to starting to acknowledge that you're out of alignment, that you're avoiding your numbers, you're not paying yourself first, you're not, you're going into debt and using personal debt to finance your business. Those types of things keep you up at night. I know they do because they have kept me up at night launching this business of my own. And it's nothing to be ashamed of or to have guilt around. You might, but that's something you can clear and clean up easily when you start looking at it. If you never look at it, if you never see the pattern between you and your business and why it's not working out, you'll never be able to shift it. Your business is like a vehicle for spiritual development, personal development, and professional development. It's a container that you're creating so that you can have freedom. And it's normally never the outside world that is causing you problems. It's the inner world wanting to shift and the misconception that the outer world is making it happen to you. So what I also noticed when I was working in the field is that the numbers, the reports, yes, they were giving me a story, but most entrepreneurs did not know how to read their numbers. And when you tried to explain their numbers, they glazed over. They were like, I don't understand this, and kind of gave up immediately and wanted to just abdicate the responsibility to me or the other accountants working on their files to clean it up for them. And so, yeah, okay, we cleaned it up for you. But then that just kept repeating. Every year it was the same story. And so there was no planning. There was no ability to create wealth from your business. And when you're an entrepreneur, 401ks or RRSPs in Canada, retirement funds are not part of the program. Your business is your retirement fund. You want to create wealth inside of that to grow. And it gets completely forgotten about or ignored because you're always running from behind. You're always playing catch up and putting out fires all the time because you're kind of in emergency mode all the time. There's no calm. There's no receptivity. There's no ability to see clearly because you're fighting fires all the time. And so your business is constantly communicating to you. It's trying to get your attention. And it's when you decide to look before you get, it's best to look before things happen, but it's when you decide to really pay attention and start to notice and become aware of what your business is communicating to you and what you are communicating to your business. It's a two-way street that you really get current. You get current, you get present with what is happening in your business, what is actually happening. And you start taking more responsibility. You start being more accountable to yourself and to your business. And when you start to do that, things come online. Things start to line up. You start to activate joy. You start to activate excitement. You start to feel into what the next step is because you're taking small steps all the time to stay present, stay current, get current, be current with your business. And guess what? Money is currency. You want to be in the flow of money. And inside this summit, I'm noticing, because I'm hanging out with the speakers on a regular basis and we're connecting with the participants, we're creating a field of currency. We're creating a field of liberation together. And in that proximity, we're moving into a field of prosperity and wealth and collaboration. And in that field, you can get raised up just by being in proximity to the people who are already practicing. And it's easy. It's an easy thing to do. So I really encourage you to join the Liberated Coaches Summit because being in proximity to those who are practicing liberation, those who are practicing being current with their businesses, paying attention to what the business is communicating to them, are really in the field of prosperity. And this is a new field. This is something we haven't had access to before because we have been trapped in the scarcity program, that there's not enough. There's not enough time. There's not enough time for me to have pleasure. There's not enough time for me to make the money I need to make. There's not enough clients. There's not enough, I don't have enough creativity. I don't have enough time to think. So see how all of these 5 shackles that the summit is addressing are interrelated and interconnected, which means when you work on one, it works on all the other ones as well. And when you get into a summit, it starts to liberate you and activate you and open up clarity that you weren't seeing before. It starts to remove the fog, remove the blind spots. And even if you don't change immediately, you're still more aware and noticing and watching and seeing yourself in a different way. And that automatically starts to shift things for you, shift things for your business. And, why I said yes to doing this summit was, yes, I'm a speaker. Yes, I believe in liberation, but the most benefit for me is being in the proximity with others who think the same way I think, who started their business because they want freedom, they want liberation. They started their business because they love doing what they do. And in the Liberated Coach Summit, there's 20 speakers, including myself and the host, who are offering you gifts. And lots of these gifts work in harmony and synergy with each other. And there's a time, it's an on-demand summit so that you can digest the interviews, you can work through the gifts, you can follow your guidance and see who you resonate with. And even if you just join for free, there's unlimited value in this summit. Yes, you might find your next mentor, you might find your next coach as well, but there is so much value in the free summit, just through proximity, just through you becoming more aware of how you, your business, your purpose, your mission can all interrelate together. And that's why I created Receptive Radio, is to help you come into tune with your purpose work, to come into tune with your power, to come into tune with prosperity. Because we need more of us who are tuning into prosperity. We need more of us who are tuning into liberation. We need more of us to be calm, present, and current, so that becomes the new normal, And so I'm just going to put up a banner here that to remind you to register for the summit. And if you're watching this live, please put #live in the comments. And if you're watching the replay, please push #replay in the comments. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. Please like this video and go and watch some other videos. See what I'm talking about, because I'm sure you have been thinking of the same things. They have been reaching into your consciousness and wanting you to look at them. So thank you so much for watching today. I feel so excited and joyful when I get to share with you and give you as much value as possible just by listening to these episodes. So I'll see you next week, Thursdays at 12:30 p.m. Pacific, 3:30 Eastern Standard Time.